Nice. Sick, dude.
That was my impression of the Skype sound.
The one it says ring the group. I don't know why you're just not allowed in. Just be in. I know you shared the specific link with them, but they're here now. You wanna let them in?
How is it not Friday already?
It basically is, because tomorrow I'm not doing anything but getting ready to watch the White Sox.
How is it possible that today is only Thursday? There must have been a double Tuesday or something that we didn't notice.
Double down on an extra work day that they didn't tell us about.
Like, that's what it feels like. Like, I can't even believe that it's not Friday right now.
I woke up today and I was like, it's about 24 hours. I'm going to be in a baseball stadium. It was awesome. Good feeling.
Yeah, I'm pumped. I'm very pumped.
Thank you for listening to Shy Sox Talk with your hosts, Chris and Matt, your weekly place for White Sox fan reactions. Kick back, relax, grab your favorite beverage, and enjoy the show.
Hello and welcome to episode 17 of Shy Sox Talk. My name is Chris, as always here with my wonderful co-host, Matt. How are you tonight?
Doing great. Go White Sox. First regular season podcast of our careers, so really pretty excited to actually talk about real White Sox regular season baseball. Pretty pumped. Very pumped.
It has in mind. And the White Sox look real good. Like, they were good last year, but they had to sweat some games out. And this year, they're just real good.
Good start to the season so far. Rough game today, but, getaway day for the Mariners, and the rain delay, I'm sure, kind of messed up everything. And for everyone, weather, the wind was pretty crazy. For some reason, they could not hit Gilbert. He left a lot of them right on the middle of the plate, and they just missed him. So, you're not going to win them all. You're not going to have a great game every game, but great start to the season so far.
I guess as a fan base, we're just going to have to settle for 116-2 and not 161-1. We're just going to gonna have to settle for that.
It might be 2 losses, but if those are your only 2 for the year, pretty good year.
So as real baseball kind of was happening, we got a couple pretty good DMs, and one that really captured my attention was after the home opener from our listener Lucas. The White Sox bullpen looks all right, but Liam Hendricks looked a little shaky. Do you think he'll be okay this season? I'll let you kind of lead it off with this.
Yeah, I think he'll be fine. He was a little shaky to start last season too. Looks like he was just trying to get everyone out with just throwing straight fastballs for whatever reason. And when he looked like Ethan Katz talked to him, so he started mixing in the slider and the curveball, and he started getting guys out. So he has been giving up some hard hits, though. It's not like he's giving up cheap ones. He's giving up some line drives. But ultimately, I think he'll be fine throughout the season.
I do too, and I think maybe something that people aren't thinking about this year is spring training was 3.5 weeks, typically 6. Like, typically these guys have about 2.5 more weeks of runway to kind of get the feel for everything. And also going from Arizona to Detroit or Chicago, like, the ball is going to feel different. Your grip's going to be different. So he's not somebody I'm really worried about at all. He's back-to-back reliever of the year, I think. So he's stud, and he's probably going to be a stud for the team again this year.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like he probably just didn't feel like he had the control on his slider and curveball this early in the season. So he was kind of shying away from throwing it, but once he started throwing it, he started getting outs.
And our second question from Tom. Over the past, he sent us this yesterday, 5 first games of the season, who has impressed you the most and why? I kind of want to kick this off. I'm going to say Eli Jimenez. Not only has he looked solid in the field, but at the dish, he looks way more mature than he has his first 3 years in the league. Kind of the first 3 years, he was trying to just hammer everything 50 miles, which isn't a bad thing because he's a big power bat. But you could tell, early in the season, he's a little bit more situationally aware. 2 strikes, he's starting to take stuff up the middle at like 100 miles per hour. He kind of got unlucky on a couple where he hit the pitcher. But, I mean, even where he drove, that Luis home, that 3-2 win a couple days ago, it was a 3-2 count. He just kind of put it in play and hustled down the line. He just looks like he's matured a ton between the last 2 years, and that's honestly surprised me the most, and not in a bad way, but like in a good way.
Yeah, I mean he's hitting the ball hard. He's been kind of keeping it on the ground until yesterday, where he launched one. So not worried about him. I think he's going to be a great hitter. It looks like he's really squaring the ball up, though. Yeah, the patience at the plate, seeing a lot of pitches, and then when they're in the zone, he's attacking them and crushing them. Like, he's barreling them up, which is what you want to see out of a guy like that. And then, he's fast. He's a big boy, but he can move. That when he got down the first baseline, that was pretty impressive. And he's looked pretty decent in the field. He still makes I think it's more of a mental thing than a physical thing out there for him. So, stay away from Luis. Do not touch him under any circumstance. So, I think as the season goes on, his defense will continue to improve. I've been saying it for a while, but I think he can stick out there in left field. It's the mental stuff that he struggles with. But physically he can stick out there.
And yeah, I mean, he is a stud, and he's starting to show it. They should probably just tell him, like, you see this line right here, you're not allowed to cross it. This is all Luis zone. From here, just stop this line, he'll get there. But yeah, Eloy's kind of surprised me the way he started the season. He looks a lot more like a situational baseball player, and a part of me wishes that they would put Grandal at 3, Eloy at 4, and Jose at 5 in the lineup, but I've been a manager for 45 years, so
it's a good problem to have where, like, you have so many guys that is he batting in the right spot? I don't know. Good problem for La Russa to have to kind of ponder that every game.
And for you, who's kind of surprised you the most?
Surprised me the most?
Or impressed, I guess.
I wouldn't say I've been surprised. I wouldn't say I've been surprised, but I have been impressed by La Pantera. He looks like a Hall of Famer. He's living up to all the expectations. Pretty much single-handedly won that 3-2 game, stole 2 bags, scored the game-winning, what ended up being the insurance run they needed, and hit a home run that game too, and had made an amazing defensive play, jumping into the wall perfectly, knew exactly where he was, to kind of, I think that was going to be a go-ahead double. So
yeah, it was early, 1 out in the inning.
Incredible display of everything that he has.
That catch, and we'll probably get more into it when we get to that game, but that catch probably saved 3 to 4 runs. Really, like, not only on that double, but that was like a 2-out situation now with, guys on the corner versus 1 out with a guy at second and third.
Yep, could have been a big inning. Could have been a big inning, but he made a hell of a play out there.
Yeah, huge. And last question from our boy Ben. With the trade rumors about Vaughn and Frankie Montas, who would you give up for Frankie? I don't want to lose Vaughn. I'll give you the
big time Ben. Another great question. Thank you as always for those. I don't really know who I would give up for Frankie Montas, especially after seeing Keuchel pitch yesterday. He looked like exactly what we need out of him in that 5th spot. And then with injuries, Giolito's should be coming back. I heard he'll probably just miss 2 starts. I heard today. So he should be coming back soon. I don't really know who I would give up. I don't really know what the A's are looking for. I know they're looking for Vaughn, but he's a cornerstone player that will be on the White Sox for the next decade.
6 years, yeah.
And he's, since coming into the league, he's made himself such a more valuable player because he can be like a not a great fielder in left field or right field, but he can go out there and play if you need him, and that's huge versatility out of a first baseman. You just don't normally see those guys be able to translate to any other spots on the field.
Did that against the Tigers and ended up driving in a run that day in that victory on Game 2. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Just to touch on the Vaughn thing, I don't think the White Sox will ever trade Vaughn because his trade value to the White Sox is so much more than what his trade value to another team would be, where the White Sox would need like a huge name in return to actually move him, and it makes sense. And another team isn't going to give up a huge name for him because just the trade value will never work out for Vaughn. So don't ever expect him to leave the White Sox, at least not anytime soon. For Frankie Montas, I don't know. 2 lottery ticket guys, I just don't see a ton of value there for the White Sox to give up.
I think you have to give up like some pretty decent chips out of the farm to get him because he's a quality player. I just don't know if the White Sox are kind of willing to really kind of empty the farm because they don't have much to give. Maybe some of those Cuban guys, maybe Colas or Cespedes, or maybe Colson. I mean, I feel like if I'm the A's, my conversation starts with Colson Montgomery.
Yeah, and Colson kind of looks like a stud, though. So I don't know. I think Colson's going to be a guy that the White Sox hold on to.
Yeah, but I mean, if it's like a 1-to-1, you're trading Frankie Montas for just Colson Montgomery, and I know he's your probably top prospect right now.
Norhe.
Like,
yeah, I think the deal.
If you're playing for the World Series, if you think you're going to do it, I mean, they did the same thing last year, trading Madrigal. It's like this guy is not going to contribute to the team this year, and we're going to try and win the World Series this year. I think maybe a trade deadline kind of trade, you could see him get moved.
Yeah.
But I really kind of want to see just if Keuchel can kind of keep pitching. It looks like, yesterday he looked like he found it again.
Yeah, and when Lance Lynn comes back, you don't need Frankie Montas. Like, if Lance Lynn doesn't tear his knee, I don't think Frankie Montas is like a part of this conversation. So if Vasquez and Keuchel are going to hold it down for 2 months, I mean, you don't even need them. So I don't think.
Yeah, and what's the kid's name? Is it Velasquez or Vasquez?
Vince Velasquez.
Velasquez looks. He had a lot of I didn't realize he has pretty good stuff.
Good movement.
Good stuff. Lots of break on his pitches, and he was working in the zone. And if you get 5 innings out of him and bring in Lopez, you got to realize you don't need 6-7 innings out of your 4th and 5th guy when you have Lopez. He's looking like an elite
middle reliever guy.
He's kind of like a Andrew Miller kind of guy from several years ago when he was on the Indians. You can get 2 or 3 good innings out of that guy. That's a bridge to your studs that you paid. And we still got Joe Kelly coming out too. We haven't even seen him pitch.
Oh yeah, I kind of forgot about him, but not really. But yeah, the Cleveland Guardians of the Galaxy's traffic guys now. But yeah, I mean, Vince looked awesome, and I think him and Dallas are going to be able to, hold it down fine, and they'll end up being okay. Also, I forgot he was the guy who threw out 2 Sox players at the plate from right field as a pitcher. Completely forgotten that happened until the other night. So, we appreciate the questions. Keep them coming in. We try to get to all of them when we can. But maybe we'll do an episode one day where it's just, what's Matt's favorite color? People are interested in that. So
White Sox black.
So getting into the opening series, we kind of kick it off here. Opening day, a 5-4 loss to the Tigers, which kind of felt like it stung a little bit more than it probably should have. But overall, the boys looked pretty good. Kind of got a little unlucky in the 5th, hitting 2 rockets up the middle, just ricocheting off the pitcher, which I think those get through that game's completely changed. But, what do you think? First
after the first, it's opening day, so it's really hard to kind of get a read off of any team on opening day. During the rebuild, I think the White Sox had a lot of opening day wins. I think I remember one where Matt Davidson looked like he was going to be the next Babe Ruth, and we all saw how that turned out. it was a good game. Bullpen blew it. I don't expect that to happen much more often this year. It made a lot of people go crazy on Twitter. White Sox Twitter was going nuts, but I wasn't worried after it, and the Chicago White Sox proved me wrong, or proved me correct, up until today. So and I assume they will still prove me correct that I wasn't worried about that opening day loss. They are going to be fine.
Yeah, absolutely. Other kind of note, I guess, in that game was Aaron Bummer kind of got unlucky in the 8th, if anything. Like, it wasn't like he pitched bad in the 8th when the bases were juiced. Just like one or two kind of squeaked by through the couple holes. I think one looked like just off the end of the bat against the shift kind of dribbler, and no one's there because of the shift, and just a couple close calls at the plate. But
he's having a little trouble with his control right now to start the season. Like, he's kind of just missing the zone. But I think he's an elite kind of player. The amount of soft contact that he gives up. So I'm not worried about him. I think he's just got to tighten up a little bit and get a little bit closer to the zone, and he'll be fine.
And that game was about a half inch from going to extras, and the White Sox probably winning it in the 10th. So, and then moving on.
Yeah, I'm not sure what AJ Pollock was doing fielding that, because all he had to do was he could very easily have reached the ball. I think he just read it wrong.
Yeah, I think he just mistimed his jump because he was like closing the mitt as the ball.
Like, Engel would have caught that 100%.
Yeah, well, Engel robs home runs because he's a stud with cool glasses in the rain. All right.
Yeah.
Real cool sunglasses during a night game in the rain. Engel is an absolute man amongst boys in the right field specifically. Saturday's game, we saw the best pitcher of all time specifically against one team, Dylan Cease, going out and pitching a gem against the Detroit side. Had an awesome stat line. Went 5 innings, had 1 earned, 8 Ks, and just has the Tigers number. He's like 11-0 with like a 1.4 ERA against them.
Yeah, it reminds me of Bruce Chen against the White Sox. I don't know if whoever listens to this remembers Bruce Chen, but he would always carve the White Sox up and not be very good against anybody else. But unlike Dylan Cease, who is looking like he's going to be a stud.
Yeah.
I didn't get a chance. I didn't watch much of that game. I was golfing, so I didn't see a whole bunch. Didn't get a lot of. I don't have a lot of tape to look at. So my opinion on, I didn't really see his performance, so I can't say. I was too busy golfing like a 300.
Nice. The Sox still have Casey Mize' number, which I think he's now like 0-7 with like a 12 ERA against White Sox, which, if you're a Sox fan and there's a guy on that Tigers pitching staff that we want to have his number throughout his career, it's Casey Mize, because for whatever reason he struggles against the White Sox, he's still very good, and he's very young.
Yeah, and if you're a Tigers fan, I'd be worried about Spencer Torkelson, because he seems like a head case.
Oh, yeah.
He seems like he does not have the level head of most elite baseball players.
Not at all. Let's pull up the Torques, fully torqued stat line here after 6 games. He's batting 176. He does have a home run, but he's batting 176. He also looks like he's 45 years old and snuck back into the majors as well.
Yeah, he's definitely smoking heaters post game. He's got a whole pack of Marlboros
in the locker room too, because Detroit.
He's probably he's like a Newport guy, or probably a hand-rolled cigarette kind of guy with a name like Spencer.
He has one of the machines.
Yeah, he's with it.
I had a friend in high school who had a machine like that, but he didn't use it for cigarettes. And then going on to Sunday, which was Tim Anderson Day. 10-1, just full throttle, kick their teeth in. It was a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, that was a nice beatdown, because with the way the series was, it was a good way to close the door on the Tigers. Just be like, you're dealing with the Chicago White Sox, so you got lucky on one of them, and now we're gonna make up for that by just pulverizing your entire team.
And shout out to Tim Anderson. Like, what a way to start a season, man. He is everything the White Sox need all the time. And
he's just the coolest guy. Just the coolest dude.
Just the coolest. And he looks like a real nice guy, too. Like the kind of guy who would give you a fist bump through the net. You know what I mean?
And he's just like, let me, where's that pitch? I'm going to take it where it needs to go. I'm not going to try and, he's not like, he doesn't go up to bat and like, I need to pull this into left field. He just sees the pitch and he just takes it where it should go. If it's got to go opposite field, goes opposite field. If it's got to go up the middle, goes up the middle. He's incredible.
He is a stud.
Elite contact hitter.
And he has some power. Like, you put it in the wrong spot, and you saw it last night with Robbie Ray, I think, when Robbie Ray was still on the bump. I think it might have been the beginning of the end for him when Tim hit that 1.5 miles.
And it's like his swing never changes. He's always just trying to put good contact on the ball, and sometimes he's able to put it over the fence. It's not like he's going. I don't think he ever goes out there with the thought processes of I'm going to hit a home run. He's always like, wherever the ball's going, I'm going to take it where it needs to go, and I'm going to hit it with solid contact, and wherever it goes, it goes.
I absolutely agree with that. And then somebody we've talked about already, behind the scenes, behind the magic wall, our choice player for the series, Andrew Vaughn, kind of was robbed of a hero moment on opening day, but overall series was 4 for 10, had 6 ribbies, hit 2 bombs, and he looks like a major leaguer. And in game 2, came in and played, right field, got an RBI for a couple innings, and he is a ball player.
Yeah, I mean, that's like the mentality that you're looking for out of an elite hitter is, you blow a lead and, a lot of guys are going to have their head down and say the game's over, but he comes up and just launches a rocket into the stands. And, that's just what you're looking for. A clear-headed guy, and he's just got a beautiful, like, mechanical swing. He's like a robot. The same perfect swing every time. The swings aren't similar, but the way that it's so mechanical really reminds me of Paul Konerko, where it's just the same swing every time, and it's a nice, smooth swing. So I think Andrew Vaughn's going to be a very good player for many years to come.
And he also, it's starting to look like he has like a game plan when he goes up to the dish, which maybe last year I think he tried to have a game plan, but he was a rookie and was still adjusting to the majors, and he basically skipped most of the minor leagues. He went away to, whatever that off-site training thing was during COVID years.
Yeah, what was that, the taxi squad?
Yeah, the taxi squad.
And Schaumburg.
Schaumburg. I was trying to think of the name. I couldn't remember what it was. But yeah, he looks like he finally has a real idea of what he wants to do at the plate every time, and that's starting to really show with how kind of he's playing ball. So going on here to the Mariners series, again, White Sox take the series, which more series you win.
Get used to it. I think they're going to be taking a lot of them.
We'll start with Tuesday, April 12th, which should forever be known as Luis Robert single-handedly beat the Seattle Mariners Day with the help of his friend Eloy. I mean, I will say Matt Brash, he looks like a guy that whoever that is.
Yeah, dude, he looked nasty out there.
That knuckle curve he has, just that thing looked like it broke 1.5 feet.
Yeah, man, that thing was nasty, and they could not lay off of it. They couldn't lay off.
But third time through. Well, let's just start in the third inning. I think it was the third inning, where 2 guys on, Luis Robert, like we said at the beginning.
I think it was later than the third inning.
Summary box? Was it box? What box have you playing it? Base running. Oh, here we go. Batters faced. Fourth inning. No, third inning. Top of third. 2 on. 1
Shows
out.
I don't know anything.
I only know that because I have the app in front of me that tells me that. I do not, unfortunately, have photographic memory. If I did, I'd be an engineer.
I'm unfortunately very stupid, so my apologies.
Man, I'm just good at remembering baseball stuff. But yeah, I mean, what a huge momentum changing play. Like 2 on, 1 out. If he doesn't make that play or plays it off the wall, like that's a huge inning for the Mariners. They probably run away with the game. Like,
yeah, I mean, there's just kind of like football, like in a football game, there's always a few plays that you can point to that really, either way, if they went the other way, they would really change the outcome of the game. And that's definitely one of those huge ones. Like NCAA football 2009, when they gave you like the EA Sports legendary score for your game, and like each play got points. That would have been like a max point, like 1,000 point out of 1,000 point play.
I knew the game had that momentum meter.
Oh yeah,
left, right. I never understood what that did, but it was there.
It just made you get like cheap plays against you. When the momentum was against you, you'd like fumble out of nowhere, or guys would jump like 300 feet in the air for interceptions.
Momentum, bring in a real life momentum meter on the scoreboard. That would be cool, but it was always stacked momentum. Don't ever let it go to the other team.
Yeah, it's got to be rigged. It's got to be rigged up.
And then, look at the 6th inning. Luis then hits that solo bomb, kind of started getting Matt Brash out of that game and finally got into the, Mariners bullpen. And then, his base running in the 9th or in the 8th manufactured what ended up being the game winner. That insurance run.
I'm always worried when he steals a base because he hurt his wrist a couple times in the minors. And
he's his glove now, though.
Yeah, he's got the sliding glove, so maybe I should stop being so worried about that. Also, he runs like 900 miles per hour. He's like a panther.
Hey, we should call him that.
That's a good nickname.
I wonder what it means in Spanish because he's Cuban. We'll Google that.
We'll look that up. We'll have the producers look that up.
The producer is my dogs. They're pretty bad. So we got, but that's stolen third base. That's incredible. Like baseball IQ. 0-2 against Grandal. They're going to go off speed because they don't want to give them something quick to hit because Grandal can, break. And he just massive jump. Guy didn't even check on him. That's just like, there's like good players and there's great players, and players that are great just do those things. It's just
getting out there and just snagging 2 bags was reminiscent of 2005. Scotty Pods would do that all the time. He would always get in there and steal 2 bags, and it's nice that we have Scotty Pods' base running ability, but with Hall of Fame caliber bat attached to it. It's pretty incredible. Pretty incredible player.
He just needs his own World Series game walk-off winner now, and he's basically Scott Sednick. Basically the same player.
There's an article going around Twitter that was a skeptic of the signing of Luis Robert out of Cuba, saying that did the White Sox waste $25 million? They should have paid $200 million for him.
They didn't. In fact,
they got the best deal ever, probably. That and Tim Anderson's contract.
Oh yeah, 2 best deals of all time. And they, in fact, did not waste $25 million. If that guy was curious now, they probably saved $25 million.
ROI on that is incredible right now.
And they got him on like an insane deal too. They signed him to like $80 million, which he, Wander Franco just got $230 million. So they probably saved money there too. Whatever Rick Hahn's doing to negotiate these deals, do that more.
Yeah,
do more.
You got to give them all the credit in the world for those extensions, because it's not a thing that a lot of GMs have done. They would rather kind of play the manipulation game. Not saying that the White Sox didn't do that, because they did, but getting those guys to sign those extensions is like a hugely beneficial thing to the team moving forward.
Massive. And then, last night's game in the rain, Robbie Ray, reigning Cy Young winner, and they took him to school. All right, that second inning with Eloy, and then it just kind of fed from there.
A lot of Mariners fans crying about weather last night on Twitter. If any of them want to come and cry on our podcast, you're happy to come, and we would love to laugh and point at you. They were both playing in the same weather, folks. It's not like the hitters had a dome over them,
Dallas, you had Dallas Keuchel thrown in the rain.
Exactly, Dallas Keuchel. You got one run off of him, so walk home, get out of my face.
I won't lie, when he gave up that moonshot in the first, I was like, oh boy. But he came back. He did exactly what you said he needed to do: throw strikes, throw him low in the zone, stop contact.
He was giving up, and he gave up a couple. He got chased out of there on a couple of dribblers, that just barely stayed fair. Barely, yeah. Like he looked like vintage Dallas for 4 innings, 5 innings.
Yeah. And that's just if he keeps his ERA like 4, that's all the White Sox need. They don't even need to be
honestly, if he keeps his ERA under 5 or like 5.5, I'm not even going to be that upset. But if he pitches like he did yesterday, be on the lookout, Major League Baseball, because this is going to be a team to be reckoned with.
The freight train at that point, barreling down the tracks. You're not going to stop it.
Unstoppable if you get quality pitches out of your 5th starter like that.
And also shout out to Tim Anderson, because ball game he had. Drove in 3, hit a moonshot, followed up with Luis hitting another rocket.
Shout out to Tim Anderson. I think we're going to say that a lot, because he is just an absolute baseball beast.
He is my baseball dad, actually. So,
yeah, he's all of our dads on the south side here.
Thanks.
We love Timmy.
Love Timmy. And then there was, today's game. I don't really think there's much to say about it. When I looked at the lineup, it looked like it was getaway squad getting ready for the weekend.
Tell you what, Leary Garcia really did his best to demonstrate that he should be on the bench and not on the field, because he was horrible in the field today. And also, I don't think he's gotten a hit yet.
Does he? Box scorer says he does not. He's batting 0. I'm glad you said that, because I was thinking about that when I was watching the game. He's showing why he's a utility guy, and he's not like your everyday guy.
Yeah, I mean, he's already getting too much playing time. So, Tony, if you're listening, I know you are, get him out of the lineup. I know today you could have had to have him in there, but figure out how to not have him in the lineup.
And he loves having him in the lineup, too. So, if he's on the lineup tomorrow, I'm fighting Tony La Russa in the dugout. Everybody watch out before the first pitch. Me and Matt will beat out Tony La Russa in the dugout.
It's going to be like those guys that jumped the Royals first base coach. We're bringing it back. Bringing back the tradition.
All right. Beat down on the south side. All right. But yeah, today's lineup, it just felt like a getaway game, even for the White Sox. Like, it felt like this game meant a lot more to the Mariners than it did the White Sox. They understood the situation, they rested the guys, and I think they're going to beat the wheels off the Rays going into this weekend.
And I'm sure the 5-hour rain delay didn't help anybody.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. Who's
those guys at the stadium at 8 o'clock in the morning, some of them, so
yeah, that's
they
right.
were there for a while yesterday.
And kind of looking at it here, we didn't do our magic offstage pick. Who's your player of the series or the Mariners series? Kind of got a guy in mind. Want to know if
I think you got to go with Luis Robert, I believe, is who you got to go with.
He was my second. I was going to go with Timmy. We can go with Luis. Yeah, Luis. Woohoo!
Or Graveman.
Yeah, Kendall Graveman. Stud.
He's looking good. Real
good. No, yeah, you're right. Luis Robert won the first game by himself and is a beast. And the wind didn't even affect him when he played. He's just like, I'm pretty good at this, so you hit it over here. I'm gonna catch the ball.
I'm gonna get after it.
Spanish. In the wise words of Luis Robert, my English better good this year. So let's go on that weird TikTok that the White Sox put out. And then looking forward into the next week, White Sox have the Rays, and then they play the Guardians of the Galaxy. They got a 3-set and then a 4-set against the Guardians. So 7 straight here. Predictions on what to expect out of the boys?
I mean, my prediction for any series for the rest of the year is for the White Sox to win the series, regardless of how the pitchers line up, honestly. I think they're that good. I think they're that well-rounded out as a team, especially when all of their injuries clear up. Like they're going to be very good. They have a hitter 1 through 9. They have hitters on the bench other than Leary. Like Jake Berger's been doing great. He's been hitting the ball hard, been decent in the field. Like he looks like a player. I think you got to keep him around and not Danny Mendick.
Yeah, I think Danny might get option, but I don't know how many options Danny has left. You want to get down to one?
I think you kind of not care about that when you.
Yeah, I don't really care about that either. Yeah, I mean, I think I'll say it out loud. I think the White Sox go 6-1 this week. I think they can take 3 or 4 out of the Guardians of the Galaxy, and I think they'll sweep the Rays. Rays bullpen is depleted after the week versus the A's, and they're missing starting pitchers, and I don't think their staff has a shot to stop the Sox offense.
I'm interested to see how we play against the Guardians. Firstly, because I want to see the uniforms on TV. Haven't seen them yet. Their new, their new cool thing, much cooler than their old mascot. I'm kind of very glad that they changed it. When your mascot is a caricature of a Native American, not a good depiction of one, not a valiant,
warrior,
cool warrior guy, but like a racist caricature of Native American indigenous person. It's kind of fucked up. They probably should change that a while ago. But yeah, I'm excited to kind of see how they match up with the Guardians, because they've always given us trouble for forever.
Yeah. You got a player to watch before we give our words of wisdom for the week to player to watch for the upcoming week? I think mine is I got 2. I got Michael Kopech, because he's going to be making a second start, and you're probably going to see him go a couple more innings. I think he's a lot of fun to watch. And, Eloy is going to keep, I think, making big plays and having big at-bats.
Player to watch for me, just going to be Tim Anderson, because he's going to be like fully into the season. Those 2 days off in the first series. So I think for the next week, I think Tim's going to crush the ball.
Absolutely. And then, we got,
And a caveat to that, I'll also say I'm interested to see how the bullpen holds up. It looks like that investment in the offseason's paid off so far. Interested to see kind of just how that keeps going, because they look pretty good. Not so much today, but they didn't really throw out their best guys.
Yeah. So it looks like a team where if they have a lead going to the 6th or 7th, good luck. Good luck to everybody in baseball, including the Blue Jays. Not scared of them. Maybe Vlad Jr. a little. Any words of wisdom for our impressionable listeners before they go for the week?
Just watch some baseball, baby. You got a great team to watch. Exciting 1 through 9. I can't think, other than 2005, where the lineup 1 through 9 was like, you're worried to pitch to him. Josh Harrison, we didn't even really mention him. He's been awesome.
Yeah.
His fielding has been great too, which I anticipated his fielding being a huge upgrade. But he's looking like everything we ever wanted out of a second baseman.
Yeah, super hyped. He even that triple, cool dance too when he hits extra base hits. So
yeah, I mean, I would
he
just
made
watch
last
baseball
night.
and enjoy the White Sox because they're looking. This looks like a good team to watch.
Enjoy it. I think it's going to be an exciting season. Last year they were good, but you kind of sweated out games because we didn't have Eloy and Luis. This year you're not going to have to sweat. You can just enjoy them crushing teams through the core of the earth, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
They had a lot of games where they won like 1-0, 2-0 last season because they just the injuries killed them. But like look at this team. We already are hit hard with injuries. Sox are hit hard with injuries at the beginning of the season, and look how they're playing. They have depth, and I'm very excited for the remainder of the season.
Yeah, as am I. Also, thank you for listening. Social media stuff below, and we're gonna be at the game tomorrow. So if you see us there, and for whatever reason actually want to say hi to us, blow Matt's mind because I don't think he'll be able to mentally.
I think my head will actually explode off my shoulders.
And that would be cool to see. So go White Sox, and we'll see you next week.
Go Sox!